Yo guys, welcome to the third episode of my Leicester City career mode on FIFA 17. As we come into this episode, we see that Andy King does in fact get sold to Bournemouth, and we go into a training session here as Johnson goes up in overall, and we get a counter offer again from Bournemouth coming in for Kasper Schmeichel on 27 million. I didn't know after I did that whether to just accept the offer, but we did in fact put in the 30 million counter offer and see if he goes. And again, we reject a bid from Toulouse to come in for Jamie Vardy. Here we go into our first Premier League game of the season against Hull City, hoping to get the first 3 points in the bag and just go through. And we made a few changes here, well, had a look to make a few changes. We brought in Zila, and I didn't know whether to bring anyone else in, but we took off Valena and brought in Bioza. And here we swap in Albrighton for Son, and we bring in Luis Hernandez for Huth also just before, and we add in Reedwell for Kurzawa. Should be a good game, hoping to get the first 3 points in the bag and hopefully have it a push start, a kick start if you like, into winning this Premier League season. Obviously want to retain the title with Leicester. Be lovely to see it happen in real life, but obviously they're doing quite poorly right now, but hoping to see them push on and hopefully in this season we'll be able to win the league on the game. Here we see the Hull City lineup obviously going through, and also seeing our lineups, going quickly through this, as Mahrez the player to watch I think really in this team. Here as we go into kickoff, and straight from kickoff here Hull very surprisingly went straight on the attack. Obviously for Leicester wasn't the greatest of starts to the season against these, with not doing very well against them, and Jake Livermore passes it inside, and straight from kickoff they have a threatening shot just wide of the post from Jake Livermore, smashes it across goal, but luckily just wide and out for a goal kick. Here we see Bioza picking up the ball here. Slimana gives it inside to Drinkwater, who gives it outside to Mahrez. Mahrez cuts inside and smashes him, and what a shot. Just unlucky not to see that nestling in the back of the net. He done so well with so many of them shots last season to be bagging himself a few goals, and we both know how deadly them shots are from Mahrez, but unluckily couldn't finish it off. Here we come forward again on the attack. Slimani giving it into Jamie Vardy, who cuts inside, smashes it, but gets easily saved by David Marshall at the front post. Nice shot, but just too close to the keeper. I thought it might have been a bit further over, but not a good enough shot there from Jamie Vardy to put us 1-0 in the lead. Here we come into the corner of this game. After this shot, the side still trying to get used to the corners a bit in this game. It was a terrible corner, but they go straight on the counter attack with Mbakana. He goes straight forward, and stupidly we went in for a challenge with Danny Simpson, and after this I knew it was a straight red card, and that's exactly what he got here, getting sent off for that challenge. It was a stupid challenge. I don't know why I went in for it, but it was unlucky to concede. As you see, it was only literally the tiptoes of Danny Simpson, trailing foot, that actually catches him. As here they get a free kick. Straight from that free kick they hoof the ball forward, and what about this? It was just way too easily. Mbakani let free, no one marking him whatsoever on the wing, putting his hearts up and kissing to the camera as he puts Hull 1-0 up against Leicester City, the reigning champions. And what about this for a shock of the season? A shock coming into the first game of the season and going 1-0 down against a newly promoted side. Not good enough from the team here. Defensive wise, that was just shocking. And Mbakane scoring his first goal for Hull. Here we pick up the action with Mahrez standing over a corner, who whips it in, and Morgan towers above everyone but unluckily blocked on the line. And what a kerfuffle here as we try to get the shot off, but unluckily it gets cleared, but only as far as Rewald. But what a touch this is from Mahrez, and he takes it round two players, cuts inside, and in fact places it into the bottom corner. What a goal. I mean, that's got to be one of my favourite goals so far to score on this FIFA, just because of the touch that he takes around two players, just hits it round on both, beats them for pace, and then cuts inside and calmly slots it into the bottom corner to make it one apiece at Hull at the KCOM Stadium in the first game of the Premier League. Hopefully, first goal of Riyad Mahrez in the season. Hopefully, first of many for the club. And straight from kick-off at the second half, we come up the pitch with Riyad Mahrez, who gives it into Slimani, the two Algerians linking up, who gives it Albrighton, who gives it by Ozu, and again it comes out to Mahrez, who uses his pace. It's a cross. It was not the best of crosses, but it comes out to Jamie Vardy, who smashes one at the near post again. But again, Marshall gets the better of Jamie Vardy in this game and palms it out for another corner kick. Here we come forward again. We was quite attacking in the second half, and again we come forward. It passes it to Musa in the 87th minute, but we couldn't capitalise properly. And again, it goes out from a deflected shot off Musa. I didn't know if that should have been a handball, being as it come off Michael Dawson's hand, or forearm more. But that was indeed how the game finished. One apiece in the first game of the season. Not a start that I would have hoped to have, hoping to get the 3 points. But from a newly promoted side, that's what we should have been aiming for. But we got to treat that game as 2 points lost as we go into the training session here. And no one really increasing that much apart from Uche, who goes up a rating again to 59 overall now. I know these players won't become a lot, but it would just be nice to see if they could in fact become a good player. As we see here, we get a contract offer. We go in for Martin Braithwaite, and here we see an offer for Mahrez. As I didn't add the clip, he in fact straight after that whole game, he requests to be transferred after scoring that wonderful goal, but unfortunately the board say we have to let him go, and we get offers from Chelsea and Arsenal. We go for 70 million on the first bids and only 60 million on the next ones, because I just didn't want him to go for a really cheap price like the board do when you don't accept an offer. And he does in fact move to Chelsea for 60 million. What a loss to the club it'll be. And here we see the new look in FIFA. I didn't know what was going on when this all popped up, but I've got to admit it does look really good. I think it really brings something to the game when it changes a bit and you can actually get a feel for the game when it comes up with something that you'd actually see sort of in the start of a Premier League game, and I do really like the look of this. It just brings something else to the game, even though it is just a small feature. It's not actually out to do with the actual gameplay, but I do really like the way it looks as we see the Arsenal team sheet here, starting 11 and subs, and here we see Slamana and Arsenal here. Kevin Friend, the referee for this game, as we pick up the action in the first couple of minutes as we come forward, taking the ball off Monreal, skips inside, but terrible challenge. It just breaks down Slimani and pushes him to the floor pretty much, as we get the first piece of play from this game, as Riyad Mahrez, who obviously could be the last game for him at the club, stands over the free kick, hopefully to set his final games, maybe final game for the club off in a bang. Thought he was going to be leaving the club to Arsenal at the beginning of the season in real life, but here he stands against them to try and put us in the lead. Just checking here to see if there was anyone better than him to take the free kick, but there wasn't, so we take it with Mahrez, and unfortunately Ospina just gets his fingertips to it and pushes it wide of the post. What a free kick that would have been for the first one of the season, and Mahrez to wrap up his Leicester career with a bang. Here we see Mahrez standing over the corner kick here, as we don't know where to play it into really, and it hits the crossbar from a great Slimani piece of play there. The two Algerians leaking up for the corner, but just hits the bar. But we come straight back on the offence, and Mahrez whips in across, and a header from Johnson here. A very unlikely customer having to play in place of Simpson, obviously, for this game, being red carded in the last. And if he'd got a better contact on that, it was pretty much a definite goal. Here we come forward again. Bit of trickery passing here going on, passing it into Slimana, who again chips it, pretty pointless chip, but it goes to Riyad Mahrez. He cuts inside, passes it inside, and again it's Johnson arriving late, but again Ospina makes a save in this first few minutes, coming really attacking on the ball and trying to get our first 3 points of the season against one of our title rivals, I'd say, for the season. And here we see Arsenal coming on for their pretty much the first attack of the game, and coming forward, just passing the ball around like they do, playing it calmly, playing possession football. As they come forward here, give it Alexis Sanchez, who cuts inside. He sells one of the defenders, but Kasper Schmeichel there to make the save. Very well done on the 45th minute. Good to not go in at half time with our heads held low. We can still go in with our heads held high. Here we pick up the action in the 74th minute as we come forward on the ball. Nothing really happened in the second half apart from this chance. Drinkwater passes it inside to Jamie Vardy with massive space to Riyad Mahrez, but again Ospina makes the save and Oxley gets it clear. Here Arsenal come forward in the last few minutes of the game. It's Alexis Sanchez who gives it to Giroud, gives it Cazorla, back to Alexis Sanchez, who comes running at the defence, and those crosses are so deadly on this game. It's so difficult to stop them, but luckily a bad touch and Kashbar came across to make the save wonderfully from Oxlade-Chamberlain. But I cannot deal with them crosses on this game. And here we get a throw in as we come forward with Riyad Mahrez, gives it into Drinkwater, gives it to Mari Gray, who I'm really impressed with on this game, and Vardy passes it pretty much into the net. A great finish to put us 1-0 in the lead in the 88th minute. Who could in fact give us the 3 points for our second game against Arsenal. One of probably the title rivals of the season. I know I've said it already, but I do believe that they'll do well this season. It'll be a really good chance for us to come into this game and pick up the 3 points and get an early advantage on them. As we see, we come forward again in just a few minutes later with Slimani passing the ball forward into Damari Gray again, using his pace to get down the wing against Aaron Ramsey. He beats Aaron Ramsey and he gives it into Tony Valeno, who passes it into Musa, who turns his man beautifully, but again it gets blocked, but it comes out to Damari Gray, and probably the shortest man on the pitch wins the header. Coming off the bench, Ahmed Musa, one of Leicester's new signings this season, and nets his first goal to put us and surely easily wrapped up the 3 points, our first 3 points of the season against Arsenal. And what a win it is to win in the last few minutes, getting 2 goals in around 2 or 3 minutes. And again, how Musa won the header, I don't know. Probably easily the shortest man on the pitch. But here we do see that it was the final score, 2-0. Mahrez does celebrate, even though could be leaving at the end of this game. And surprisingly, man of the match went to Musa, obviously, only having 2 shots in that game. And they both came in the same attack. But thank you guys for watching. Hope to see you in the next video. Leave a like, leave a comment. Thank you.